We have a breaking news by the Montreal Canadiens. They just announced an extension contract for Lane Hutson at $8.85 million for the next 8 years with the Montreal Canadiens. The winner of the Calder Trophy in 24-25 signed an 8-year deal with the Montreal Canadiens for the next 8 years. Welcome for the breaking news from the Hockey Nation Live Show on the great Monday, October 13, 2025. Happy Thanksgiving for all the folks in Canada. And on vous souhaite une très bonne action de grâce pour les gens du Québec. Et encore une fois, on annonce un deal, extension contract between the Montreal Canadiens and the defenseman Lane Hutson, an 8-year deal at $8.85 million per year. The reaction is everywhere right now in Montreal. The fans are excited to hear that news. A lot of speculation about the contract of Lane Hutson the last couple of days. A lot of people thinking the way Lane Hutson started the season last week with the Montreal Canadiens could be a distraction for Lane Hutson. The last couple of weeks here at the Hockey Nation Show, we talked so many times about the contract of Lane Hutson, how much money he's going to get. Is it $8 million, $9 million, $10 million, $11 million? Some advanced $12 million for Lane Hutson, but today we got that deal confirmed by the Montreal Canadiens and the general manager. The winner of the Calder Trophy last year, Lane Hutson, signed his deal of 8 years at $8.85 million for the next 8 seasons with the Montreal Canadiens. Welcome, Tommy Myers and Kenneth Fontaine. We did that breaking news, honestly, live because this is really a great news to get Lane Hutson below at $10 million. Why? He gave more flexibility for Kent Hughes for the next couple of years to give contract, maybe even the mid-up, maybe another players and the prospect, or maybe a player they're going to trade for, or maybe a player they're going to sign for as a UFA in the next couple of years to give a better chance for Montreal again to become a better team and to have a possibility to win the Stanley Cup. So for me, this is another way where Kent Hughes is one of the best GM in NHL. We hear so many times, and the hockey world in the last couple of years, that team are in the specific state in USA where the tax is helping the team like Florida, Vegas, Dallas, Tampa Bay, Panthers, where they can sign those kind of players at lower the value of the players because there are no tax. Kent Hughes did it for the last couple of years with different players. Caden Guhle example this year. They signed Nick Xhekaj, they signed Cole Caulfield, and now they signed Lane Hutson again under the value of what it could be in the next couple of years. So for me, Kent Hughes continues to impress me by the way he performed as a GM with the Montreal Canadiens. We have Otoy Rule CS is in the house. We have Frederic Ouellet. Do you think the way the Madison and Dobson pair play this help? Differently about this, Frederic. Noah Dobson have a different problems on the preseason game. First, with injury. Second, adjust himself with the system of Martin St. Louis. Put this all together, we saw a Noah problem at the beginning of the preseason game. And then, since we start the season, they have a new change in the way Noah played with Mike Madison. And for right now, we cannot complain for the 3 players for the Montreal Canadiens, the first pairing, Madison and Noah Thompson. So this is a great news for Montreal to add Lane Hutson behind them. And we're going to get already have Caden Guhle at $5.75 million for the next 6 years. You have to be and applause the way Kent Hughes continues his negotiation with the players to give a better flexibility for him to add more players in the next couple of years with the Montreal Canadiens. And this is another reason why I believe Kent Hughes is one of maybe the top 5 best GM in NHL. It's not perfect. He's going to have mistakes left and right. They did already some, but at the end of the day, they learn from those mistakes and they continue to make that team better and better. And with that kind of flexibility of the salary cap year after year, this is just going to be a great situation for Kent Hughes and the Montreal Canadiens. Kenneth Dobson is a stud. Bobo, wow, a great sign from Lane Hutson with the Montreal Canadiens. You're absolutely right about that. Don't forget, please, to click on the likes. We get here a quick breaking news. This is what we try to do here at the Hockey National Show. We're missing 7 or 8 subs to reach a total of 10,000 sub at the Hockey Nation. I'm getting so many. I'm getting so many notifications right now. I'm reading everything. My phone is blowing, and my computer get all the notifications for different websites. So that's crazy. I want to hear from your comments in the chat, please. Let me know what you think. How many years, Billy? 8 years, Billy, for the contract of Lane Hutson. Frederic mentioned also the exact amount of that deal. Frederic, thanks to sharing with us. We really appreciate that. And again, we did it many nights. We talk about the contract of Lane Hutson, and we have, different other people here mention the prediction about Lane Hutson. At some point, I go from 9 to 10, 11 million, and the rumor was maybe under $10 million, but now to get him under $9 million, it's at least 600 to 700, maybe $1 million, 15 under what we expected. And this is a great deal for them. And he's going to complete this season with his entry-level contract. So if you think about this, we have Lane Hutson for the next 9 years, including the season that we just start. Again, this is another great way. It just blew my mind. Mike Babineau, what a great deal. Mr. DD, team player deal, exactly about that. I cannot believe under 10 million. There you go. That's what we talk about this all summer. The next contract, Lane Hutson, we talk about maybe a distraction for the last couple of days for Lane Hutson. And at the end, they finally have an agreement between the Montreal Canadiens and, of course, the players, Lane Hutson. This team player, no doubt, I agree with you. Mark Babineau, in a year or two, Kent Hughes will go and in for $13, $15 million. Mark my words. You're absolutely right, Mark. This is what the club will accept those guys in the situation, Mark, because now they see the window open up to go to the next level. And those kind of deals make a big difference right there. Yes, Michael, they just get the contract of Lane Hutson. I can bring you back right here, guys. I give you honestly what the Montreal Canadiens did on the website. The new deal of Lane Hutson, an 8-year deal at $8.85 million. We report this. Look, this news get out approximately now 10, 12 minutes. When I got the news, 5 minutes after that, I jump in here and to bring that news for all of you guys. So again, we try to bring those kind of information. One is major deal for the Montreal Canadiens, and it's a good time because now it's a Thanksgiving in Canada, so many people does not work. So it's going to be a great conversation. That's the reason today we're going to do the baseball game, Blue Jays, at 5 o'clock p.m. And tonight we're going to open the door for the conversation of Lane Hutson at 8:30 p.m. about the contract extension between Lane and the Montreal Canadiens. Kenneth with Dobson, Madison, Guhle, Hutson. Not a bad top 4 now if Reinbacher turn into a players. And look, there's going to be another way the next couple of years to see what they're going to do. And we have a lot of good players on the third pairing. Strobel, Xhekaj. We have Adam Ekstrom. What a great weekend with the Laval Rocket. Ekstrom right now on the ice when I watched the game Friday, Sunday for the Laval Rocket. By the way, they won by the score 5-2 yesterday. He showed Ekstrom was the best players by far on the ice for both teams. Joshua Roy had 3 goals, by the way. Difficult weekend for Florent Xhekaj, to be honest with you. It's part of the process, part of learning. It's nothing negative, but it will serve him to say, okay, what I need to do to get better. Laval will start back home and play the opening night Friday, this upcoming Friday. But again, this just gave another option for the Montreal Canadiens to have the value like they could trade at some point Strobel or Engstrom and to have something in return, like we mentioned earlier. Mr. DD, if everyone takes the team-friendly deal, it will be easier to fill the roster with a quality player. Exactly about this. That's what we get, and we have good deal so far. The biggest contract is Noah at 9.5, but he's on his third deal with an NHL. That's its friend situation. Noah signed an entry-level contract. He signed after that a bridge contract with Islanders, and they get that contract with the Montreal Canadiens. That's completely different. Most of the players with the Montreal, Caulfield, Suzuki, Sakowski, Guhle, Hutson, they all sign an entry-level contract. After that, they sign a long deal. The situation will be different for Kirby Dach, Alex Newhook. They're going to be the third deal with the Montreal Canadiens, with their career in NHL. We'll see. We still have to negotiate right now with Zachary Bolduc. Zachary Bolduc is a RFA at the end of the year. Now, Montreal will open up their book next year. They have UFA Madison and Patrick Laine. This is about $13 million they open up in their book. And the next 2 years, Anderson, Gallagher, that open up an extra $12 million right there. So that gave more leverage to Kent Hughes to make more negotiation. And we know the salary cap of the NHL increasing for the next couple of years, $7 to $8 million minimum. Put this together every year for the next 2 years. There's $20 million in the pocket of Kent Hughes, and they're going to have to sign Evan Demidov the following 2 years. So this is going to be a very important situation. Billy Kidd just became a very rich. Good for him. All the people who told him he was too small at every level is eating their words. Well said. Well done, Billy. About Lane Hutson. He's been... think about this guy. This is a 62 overall pick in 2022. They have half of the team. 16 of them minimum, maybe more. They did not want to allow at Lane Hutson because they thought it would be too small. Like, nothing to do with him at the combine. They never interviewed him. They thought he's not good enough. Montreal took a chance at 62. He took 62 pick before they select him. Montreal had been lucky at the same time. They did the homework. But to get Lane Hutson at 62, if we do right now the NHL draft 2022, Lane Hutson is a top 3 and maybe the top 1. Right now, we have to qualify him over Logan Guhle and Sakowski. But this is a great asset for the Montreal Canadiens for sure. Frédéric Macabebno, I know of a player in Edmonton with 2 years left that would fit perfectly. I know I'm dreaming, but why not? Connor McDavid. Yes, let's go. Michael Whelan, Bobo. Kent Hughes has been our best GM. Bobo, you're absolutely about that. At least he brings some kind of stabilities for the contract AAV. And we have to look about the contract. I can check in right now if you don't mind, guys. Give me about 20 seconds. I'm going to check a contract at 8.85. Take a note. Patrick Laine right now at 8.7 is at 9.1% on the salary cap. At 9.1, so Hutson should be at 8.9. Zuski, Caulfield as at 8.2. Both of them. Xhekaj is at 8.0. Thompson is at 9.9 this year. But when the cap will be increasing next year, those percentage of the AAV drop. If you don't have any players over at 10 A plus, this is great. Now, another thing we need to talk about right now for the Montreal Canadiens is the stability at long term for the Montreal Canadiens. Guhle, Dobson, Hutson. We have Xhekaj for 4 years. But let's move on with Xhekaj, Caulfield, Suzuki, and that gave Montreal Canadiens 7 players right now are with a long term for Montreal. This is what you build with your core. We have 7 players right now at long term for 6, 7, and 8 years for the Montreal Canadiens. So this is another great way to do that. For this, Mike Madison extension next 5 to 5.5. Mike, you know, this is another way. We talk about Zachary Bolduc. He become RFA next year. He doesn't have a lot of leverage, honestly. We don't know how many goals he's going to do this year. But Mike Madison, where he have a choice to go anywhere. The left defenseman in NHL, they got big contracts, $7, $8 million, $9 million right now. He have a choice right now to stay in Montreal. We talk about 6 A plus, 6.5, 7 for Mike Madison. The way he play right now, the guy deserves to get those kind of contract. But Michael, at 5.5, a 5-year deal. Mike Madison right now is at 31 years old. Let's see he turn 32 at some point. That would bring him at 37 years old. He get $25 million, $27.5 million. It makes sense. It makes sense. And you know what? A player like that, you give him a little bit more money at the beginning. Why? Because the last 2 seasons is going to be 35, 36, 37. But now you can trade him at low value on the salary cap. So that will give more flexibility or Kent Hughes if they want to go there. Again, they all depend on the development of Montreal Canadiens or the defenseman. To keep Mike Madison, that block a spot for Xhekaj, for Strobel, and for Adam Ekstrom. They are all left defensemen. Until then, they can use Lane Hutson on the right side. Nothing wrong with that. Vegas with Theodore, they do this for many years. They have Florida did it last year. They put Kulikov on the left side. You can win in NHL with 4 defensemen on the left side and 2 right defensemen. That said, I really like that situation or that deal, Michael, the way you see that. Again, Mike Madison at 4 years at $6 million, that would give a better deal for Kent Hughes. Why? Because now Madison can leave. And I will say to you, for all of you, Mike Madison at ages is going to get bigger and bigger, older and older. He's still a great skater. Mike Madison is still the best skater for the Montreal Canadiens. That's not going to hurt. Some people, players, defensemen, when they get older, 33, 34, 35, is starting to get their career go down. But a player like Mike Madison, Chris Letang is what, 38, 39 now? He's still a great skater. You have players like John Carlson, 34, 35. They're still a great players. And that's gave us a great idea there, Mike. I really like your way you see that. Bobo, the team is going to be scary, good for a long time. Exactly, Henry. That's a great comments about that. Of course, about that, Bobo expressed this. Reinbacher is out. What a deal. Exactly about that, guys. Keep sharing your thought about that deal for Lane Hutson. We'll be there for an approximately another 8 minutes because it's already 10 o'clock p.m. here in Tehran. And we have to be back at 4 o'clock for the next deal, for the next show for the baseball. I wonder if it's a full no trade contract. Just wondering. I'll be honest with you, Tommy. Usually, those kind of deal are not with any deal like that. Why? Because there is only the second deal. I would tell you example like Suzuki, Caulfield, Xhekaj. They don't get any deal with with their term. Guhle did the same thing. So I don't have Hutson right now here in front of me. But if I can go to the puck page here to confirm with you, I don't know if they did already that. Sometime they are a little bit late to put the update on this. Lane Hutson is confirmed. So let's see. They have no deal right there. So like I mentioned, they have no clause in the deal. That's normal happen for the second contract in NHL. So that gives you an idea, Tommy, about your question. Mike Madison is the top percentage in quality on agility, speed, and speed birds on the edges in the NHL edge stats. Great point, Michael, to sharing with us. Nicolas de Gourbet-Bonneau, bon matin, mon homme. Misère, c'est trop payé. Ben non, ben Nicolas, c'est très bien fait pour les Canadiens de Montréal. And Noah Thompson has been phenomenal so far, Michael, exactly. Really impressed with Madison so far this year, Billy. Talk about this. You're welcome, Tommy. Like I mentioned, usually when you are on your that deal, you targeting those kind of clothes. Kent Hughes is not too much about that. Again, Montreal Canadiens have a great start with 2-1-0 after 3 games. They have a good game overall. That's tonight. We're going to do that show. And I want to share it with you. Don't forget now, we have a new show in French starting this weekend, Saturday and Sunday. 2 days, Saturday and Sunday, about the Montreal Canadiens. Le déjeuner aux couleurs des Canadiens de Montréal. We did very good yesterday. I was impressed by the number of people in French with me. I'm going to do more the Saturday morning and the Sunday, both at 10 o'clock p.m. a.m. the morning. And we're going to be back also tonight at 5 o'clock for the baseball game, Blue Jays, and at 8:30 for the big news of Lane Hutson and all the comments around the Montreal Canadiens fans. Those be amazing news. Hughes is a genius. That's exactly what we think about this early. It's just une saison de jouer and on lui offre 8.75. Oui, Nicolas, il y a plusieurs joueurs. Frank Nazar, que tu as regardé jouer en fin de semaine pour Chicago, a fait un contrat de 7 years, je crois, à $7.5 million. So, Hutson, the winner of the Calder Trophy, that's a great deal for the Montreal Canadiens and for Lane Hutson. Everybody was thinking they're going to get 9 plus, 9.5, $10 million. Some advanced to $11, $12 million with all the big contract they gave to Kaprizov the last couple of days, weeks now. Xhekaj, Kyle Connors, and McDavid did a bridge contract only 2 years, below the value, but he's only 2 years. That said, that's the reason the Lane Hutson deal is very important for the Montreal Canadiens and for the organization, and of course for the player Lane Hutson. Frederic with Noah, I'm impressed by the way he played with his skate and his legs to control the puck against the board. He have a long range with his stick, by the way, Noah, Frederic. About Dobson. So far, looking good. I think they have some adjustment to look. They are practicing right now. I think it's 11 o'clock in Canada. The practice start at 10:30, I believe. They're going to have a lot of press conference today about the signature. That said, they work on the power play. I'm not sure, and I think Patrick Leblanc bring that idea to put Noah Dobson at the spot of Patrick Laine and use Mike Madison at the quarterback, put Laine on the bumper with Demidov. I'm not sure, but this is the kind of situation they could do, honestly, for the Montreal Canadiens. And the next, this is a great deal. Roy from Bangkok, Talent is in the house. Guy is in the house. Also, use is need to answer. Yes, indeed, yes, Roy. Nicolas Guy from Guy, merci d'être avec nous. N'oubliez pas de cliquer sur le petit pouce en haut. Don't forget, please, to click on the like. Like I said, we are here for a breaking news. It's happening a couple of minutes ago, maybe now 30 minutes. The Montreal Canadiens and Lane Hutson get a new deal together. A contract extension of 8 years at $8.85 million. What a great news for the Montreal Canadiens and, of course, for Lane Hutson. That kind of contract we talk and speculate all summer with prediction, how much money, if it's going to happen before the season start, during the season, or at the end of the year, or next summer. All those speculation now, it's over. It's done because today, Lane Hutson signed at the bottom of the contract the deal of 8 years at $8.85 million. And as a Montreal Canadiens fan, you know who I am. When I'm a big fan of the Bleu Blanc Rouge, le Tricolore, this is just a great news for the organization and Lane Hutson. That's a long contract, 8 years. It's a risk, but it's a part of the deal. We get, yeah, you're absolutely right about that, Frédéric, about the deal, Billy. The culture they are building is a big reason they can sign a deal like that. Player want to be there. The player want to stay in Montreal. The player love to play for Martin Saint-Louis. They love to be a part of this special organization. And this start right there, Billy. Again, that's you nail it about the culture for the Montreal Canadiens. And then they find a way to keep those players, and we'll see what's going to happen for the next. Mike Madison, UFA. Patrick Laine, UFA. Next season. RFA, Zachary Bolduc. Kirby Doc, RFA after that. And then you have Alex Newhook the following year. Josh Anderson. You have Brendan Gallagher. And 2 years, the contract will be over. And that said, something could happen for many others. Above and all the structure that use as established. Good point about that. Also, Roy, the way his template is so good. We talk about 6-7 players right now at long term with the Montreal Canadiens for a minimum 6 to 8 years. Talking about Suzuki, Caulfield, Sakoski. Now we have Lane Hutson, Noah Dobson. We have Caden Guhle. So that gave you guys 6-7 players at long term. And we'll see what happening after that for Mike Madison next year. And that will open the door with one will be the time for Evan Demidov to get his contract the following year. How much money he can get and the flexibility or can use. It's just good leverage he can do. And that said, in 2-3 years, if Montreal missing a couple of pieces of the puzzle, maybe one piece of the puzzle, top 6, forward, defenseman, goalie, we don't know. But Kent Hughes have an opportunity to add a player, like he said, I think it was Frédéric or Michael Whelan, at 10, at 12, 13, 14, $15 million, if it's necessary. Not guaranteed there, but if it's necessary. So this is going to be a really good deal for that. Roy, then Joseph, welcome in the show. Thanks for all the likes. Always thought that Hudson won the Stanley Cup, Mark the money. Good point, Joseph, about that. Now we have Tommy. We have a press conference of Montreal Canadiens live right now, guys. I don't do those kind of situation here, but let's see, guys, if you don't mind, to check the Montreal Canadiens live here by Kent Hughes, if we can listen to him live. So let's jump in on this on the Montreal. Let me get it if it's possible, and we'll give you Kent Hughes live directly from the channel here. So they open up right now the website, the YouTube channel. We have to wait for Kent Hughes show up, and when it will happen, guys, we're going to move to the press conference for the Montreal Canadiens. So I was not expected to do that, but because it's happening right now, we're going to take a time. I thought to leave here at 11 o'clock, but we're going to stay together. I appreciate for all of you to sign to be with us tonight. And this morning, of the breaking news, like I mentioned, it was not supposed to do a live stream. And I was going to say, okay, maybe I do a recording. But I said, you know what? It's a Thanksgiving right now. Happy Thanksgiving for the people in Canada. Bonne action de grâce pour les gens du Québec. Donc, we are live about the new deal of Lane Hutson and Montreal Canadiens. We are right now waiting for Kent Hughes talking about his deal. We're going to be stay here for a couple more minutes for sure to bring you that information. Do exactly all these sign open up the space to make a big move when the time is right. Well said, dudes. I agree with you. Bobo, I've watched this team with 10 Stanley Cup. Number 11 will happen and maybe the next 3 to 5 years. Gary Conway, good morning, Gary. And let's see, guys, I think we are live ready for this.
Il faudra que Lane réponde à ça, mais j'imagine pour tous les joueurs, particulièrement les jeunes, c'est une expérience qui est nouvelle parce que les premiers contrats sont quand même pas mal réglés d'avance. Alors, il y a plusieurs considérations, puis c'est des jeunes joueurs, alors puis c'est des décisions qui vont avoir un grand effet sur leur vie.
Est-ce que ça a été plus long que prévu d'une certaine façon, la négociation, Ken?
Non, je trouve que c'est toujours difficile. Je pense que j'ai passé le commentaire dans la passée déjà que c'est difficile de prédire comment une négociation va aller. Des fois, tu commences sur le chemin à court terme, puis ça arrive à long terme. Alors, c'est juste... Je trouve que quand c'est plus dans le public, ça devient plus difficile parce qu'il y a tellement de choses qui sortent qui ne sont pas nécessairement vraies. Puis tous les deux côtés lient les choses. Ça nuit aux négociations des fois.
Qu'est-ce qui n'était pas vrai, selon toi?
Oh, je passe comme un commentaire.
Ken, quand tu regardes certains contrats qui ont été octroyés dans les derniers mois, dernières semaines, il est facile de se dire que Lane Hutson a peut-être accepté moins d'argent que ce qu'il aurait pu obtenir, valeur maximale. Mais quand tu regardes des joueurs comme ça qui peut-être acceptent moins, en fait, peut-être pour le bien de l'équipe, qu'est-ce que ça te dit? Parce que c'est pas nécessairement le premier à faire ça sous ton règne.
Je crois que c'est difficile. Le marché présentement est tellement difficile à lire. C'est sûr que quand quelqu'un comme Connor McDavid signe pour beaucoup moins qu'un autre joueur dans la ligue, ça dit qu'on a une cap salariale, il y a juste un certain montant d'argent que les équipes sont permis de dépenser. Je pense que qu'est-ce que ça dit à propos de Lane Hutson, c'est qu'il aime jouer à Montréal, puis il veut que Montréal est en position pour gagner.
Ça représente
quoi pour le Canadien d'enraciner Hutson pour 8 saisons, le maximum possible?
Oh, on est très content de l'avoir avec nous. On n'a jamais caché. On est très content de l'avoir eu au repêchage si tard qu'on a réussi à l'avoir. On se trouve chanceux. Puis on est très content qu'il fait partie de l'équipe à long terme.
Tu as beaucoup parlé, Ken, de l'importance de maintenir une structure salariale interne là, dans les derniers jours. Tu as l'impression d'avoir accompli ça? C'était la priorité dans cette négociation-là?
C'est sûr, c'est une priorité pour nous. Comme j'ai mentionné, quand le cap salarial change, c'est pas que les chiffres vont être les mêmes, mais les principes vont être les mêmes.
Kent, how would you characterize the commitment you guys have made to Lane and the commitment that Lane has made to you?
Well, I had a conversation with Lane over the weekend, and he had talked about his view on things, and it struck me he wanted to make sure we understood how much he wanted to be here and how hard he was going to work. And my response, I kind of cut him off and said, Lane, there wouldn't be an 8-year deal if we didn't believe in who you were at your core. The kind of person he is, how committed he is to being his best version of himself, but also being the best version of a teammate.
Kent, you've been on the other side of these negotiations as an agent. Were you able to speak with Lane, sort of explaining, like almost speaking to him as an agent, even though you're a GM, as far as how this deal would work out?
And use live.
That's not generally how it happens. Usually you're communicating through the agents. But we did have the opportunity to speak before the deal was concluded with everybody on the phone.
What changed? Is that what changed? The ability to speak with Lane, or what changed?
No, I can't say anything changed. I just think that if it wasn't, if there wasn't like a blow by blow, day by day, and on social media, nobody would ask what changed or didn't change, and I can't say that everything that was on social media was accurate. I think it's just, the process playing itself out until we came to a deal.
You have almost your entire young core locked up. You're going into an era where the salary cap is not only going to increase, but increase exponentially. What does that give you the opportunity to do as you come into the next phase of this build?
Continue to keep other young players that we think will be part of it, and add where we think where there's an opportunity, as there was this summer with Noah Dobson, and we were going to have to pay a significant. The reality is, if you go into the open market, you're going to have to pay, and our hope is that we are able to build this team as much as possible internally. But when you have a young group of players that are committed to this team, I think we owe it to them that if we believe there's a hole in the lineup that's needed to be filled in order to have a championship caliber team, that we're going to have to do that.
Was the Noah Dobson contract sort of the limit, as like Suzuki's was when you were negotiating with Slav?
No, Noah's a different deal. I mean, the Susie, Cole, Slav, Guhle, Lane, those are all deals coming out of the entry-level system. It's a different animal.
How much of a concern was it, if at all, of how this contract would be received in the room on your part? How much did you guys worry about that or think about that in this whole process?
That's important to us. It's one of the things that we've talked a lot about is trying to build a culture here, and a culture where everybody's pulling in the right direction. That's absolutely critical, in my opinion.
Did you consult Nick at all on that subject? Or?
No, not specifically in terms of. If you're asking like somebody making more money than him, no.
No, just in terms of how the room would receive whatever.
I never discussed a figure with Nick, but I think ultimately we're all on the same page in terms of what we're trying to do here, and I think Nick is at the top of that.
Pardon, excuse-moi. La convention collective met pas d'urgence, mais on dirait que ces dossiers-là, ces dernières années, quand sont devenus très urgents, de régler les jeunes rapidement, avant même que le premier contrat se termine. C'est pour le commun des mortels. Pourquoi c'est comme ça?
Ça dépend. Je crois, si on voit autour de la Ligue comme Luke Hughes ou Mason McTavish, ces joueurs-là, ils ont attendu je ne sais pas si c'est l'équipe ou si le joueur ou qui a pris la décision d'attendre que le contrat soit terminé, mais dans notre cas, qu'on voit qu'il y a un joueur qu'on veut garder avec nous à long terme, on essaie de s'arranger au lieu d'attendre aux dernières minutes.
Les nouveaux contrats qui ont été signés récemment, à quel point ça a été peut-être des montagnes russes pour toi dans ce dossier-là? Tu as parlé de Luke Hughes, il y a eu Jackson Lacombe. Puis là, de voir, justement, comme on a parlé Anthony, McDavid qui signe un rabais, ça a-tu un impact peut-être dans le message pour Lane Hutson?
Je ne peux pas. Notre message a toujours été constant. Je ne peux pas parler encore pour Lane, mais je crois qu'on est rendu à une étape où des joueurs vont prendre des décisions individuelles pour leurs raisons individuelles. Pour nous, comme équipe, on a des principes qu'on veut continuer à respecter. C'est pour les contrats futurs, mais c'est autant pour les contrats déjà faits.
Puis quand tu voyais un gars comme les contrats des jeunes défenseurs qui ont été signés avant celui de Lane, est-ce que tu disais, oh my God, ça va être plus compliqué que je pensais?
Non, parce que je crois pas que ça change beaucoup pour nous, dans le sens que on regarde plus qu'est-ce qu'on fait à l'interne que qu'est-ce que les autres font. C'est sûr que rendu à l'arbitrage, tu n'es plus permis de prendre cette approche. Mais avec les joueurs qui sortent de leur premier contrat, ça va demeurer la même pour nous.
Did you think the contract situation might have been starting to weigh on Lane and his family a bit? And do you think maybe there's a sense of relief for him today getting this done?
My experience as an agent is every time a player signs his contract, there's a sense of relief and happiness to be able to put it, not just to have the contract done or have that kind of financial security. I think it's just to know that it's behind them and they can focus on hockey. Athletes are by nature
Kent Hughes,
very singularly
press conference
focused,
live.
right? They want to keep every distraction out of to the outside as much as possible. So putting something behind them is beneficial.
Avez-vous toujours visé le 8 ans? Et tu parlais des médias sociaux, puis tu sais, des trucs. Est-ce que le fait de réaliser autant du bord de Lane que de vous, que ça risquait de devenir peut-être une distraction que vous ne souhaitiez pas d'un bord et de l'autre dans l'équipe, est-ce que ça a servi d'accélérant, de fuel à la négo, à un dernier sprint de négo?
Oui, je pense que c'est correct. On est inquiète que ça aurait un effet sur Lane, puis sur l'équipe, puis on veut éliminer les distractions. On voulait le faire avant que la saison commence. On a trois matchs en retard.
8 ans, oui, c'était ça, l'idée c'était 8 ans?
À long terme, oui.
Merci. Merci beaucoup, Ken.
Here we go. The press conference Montreal Canadiens is over with the signature of the Lane Hutson for 8 years at $8.85 million. I was going to answer to you, Deuce, en français. Très heureux, Deuce, de faire des émissions en français. J'aurais dû commencer ça bien longtemps. J'hésitais beaucoup. J'essaie de comprendre si le YouTube Channel vont me pénaliser. Puis on a réalisé maintenant que le YouTube Channel ont des nouvelles features. You can speak English, you can make the traduction in French and Spanish and whatever. So I decided to do the weekend. That said, possible, dans les prochaines semaines ou mois, on va faire plus d'émissions en français. C'est des choses à explorer. Mais pour l'instant, je suis très heureux d'annoncer 2 émissions spéciales durant le week-end, toutes en français, le samedi, dimanche à 10h le matin. Is it on RDS, Roy? It was on the channel Montreal Canadiens, Roy. That I think is probably it was Roy. Frédéric Roy was on the YouTube on the Habs channel. Here we go. Theodore, feel like forever to wait for the next Habs game tomorrow night against the Seattle Kraken at Montreal. RDP, good deal. RDP, welcome back. So that's going to be what happened this morning, guys, on the great celebration of the Thanksgiving. What a great gift Montreal Canadiens gave for all of us for the Thanksgiving in Canada. L'Action de grâce au Québec. And many people does not work today. They are with family for the food, for activities. I don't know what look like the weather. I'm in Tayden. It's approximately 10:15. We're going to be back at 3 o'clock in the morning to do the Blue Jays at 5 p.m. Tonight for you guys. The Blue Jays play game number 2 of the playoff. We're going to do that, and then I'm going to do a special show at 8:30 p.m. 8:30 after the baseball game about the Montreal Canadiens. So we're going to be a busy day. The next, I get out a short video, a short video of the Zachary Bodzik, the next 1 hour release. So we keep constant, guys, to provide many information we can. If this happened at 2 o'clock in the morning, maybe I would not be ready. But I was just on my office working on the show tonight. So that was the best moment, and my notification blew my phone with all the deal for that. Excellent, Victor, Henry, you're welcome. Theodore, Coach, what shall we do with Lane? Good question, Theodore. This is a situation I started thinking about this yesterday with sharing during the baseball game what could be the next for Patrick Lane. And to be honest, sometimes time fix everything. Sometimes you don't have to get an answer right away or to make some move right away. You just let it go and see what's happening. For me right now, he start okay. Nothing did bad for Patrick Lane so far. He can have many conversations or opinion, or this not play well, he don't do that. For me, I don't see that way. Yes, he has 0 point, but he does not make a lot of mistakes like he did last year. Maybe you see him like a slow. I understand that. But here's the problem with that. He play right now with 2 players have no clue about offensive side of the game. Xhekaj and Josh Anderson. They are not the best player to play. So Patrick Lane right now is on the bad spot with the lineup with the Montreal Canadiens. It's not a guy playing on the 4 line. And they're missing a guy like Eamon to take the spot of Patrick Lane. If Zachary Bodzik become what he's going right now to get that kind of the goal, everything like that, I think with time, he will be pushed out of the team just because what's happening with other players around him. And Martin Saint-Louis, it will be like a hot potato in his lineup. And can Patrick Lane accept this situation, unit number 2, where he should be on unit number 1, but he's still on unit number 2, it is what it is, and play on the 4 line? Until when Patrick Lane is going to be happy about that? We don't know. So my point, Theodore, that time would fix everything. And slowly for me, if you give me my opinion on my prediction, I don't see Patrick Lane with the Montreal Canadiens. It does not fit in the mold of what Montreal want to do, speed-wise. Fast team, transition, rush, plus physicality, and think those elements are not part of the who is Patrick Lane. Great shot, a little weapon shot, but is completely on one specialist players for the Montreal Canadiens, and does not work for me for Martin Saint-Louis. I could be wrong, and if he stay. But if you want to hear my prediction, I don't think he would be with Montreal next season, get a deal whatsoever. He loves Montreal. Sometimes it's the business side, and I think with what do we have? The Xhekaj coming, the Owen Beck. We have still 11 Kapanen, and we don't talk about Zarowski, Michael Edge, and whoever, Tyler Thorpe is coming. I think this is going to be the right things for the Montreal Canadiens. Hudson, Nick, I love that one, Mr. Shirel, I believe. Thanks, Guy. Some could you. Theodore, good analyst. You're welcome, my friend Mark. Lane has not hurt us so far, but he has not the help hitter. Need to be with the offensive. Exactly, Mark. I think we have the same pattern or the same thinking. Know who can fix the Lane issue? It's Lane. Yeah, Tommy. Great point about that too. At least put him on the power play number 1 to help with the power play goal. If our power play continues to be bad, however, they were better in the last game. So this is a subject, guys, where it's a good conversation to have tonight at the show, but I'm going to give you my point of view. Because Montreal had 10 opportunities in one game, and they scored 2 goals. We feel like they should score more goals. is Chicago. You're absolutely right about that. But if you put this 10 power play in 3 games, and they scored 1 goal, 2 games on the 3, that's pretty good, right? It's not, that's 20%. 20% is pretty good in NHL. It's not like the top, but you're an average that way. It's the way they did the power plays on the weekend. The execution was not there, but it's the beginning of the season. I still believe Patrick Lane played with Lane Hutson last year, and because Lane is a left shooter and Dobson is a right shooter, Dobson feed more Demidov, and Demidov after that have to feed Lane. And because Dobson have to turn his body to pass to Lane, it's more difficult. It takes a little bit longer, and just the half second gave the goaltender to set up properly for the one-timer shot. That said, this is where they have to figure out. I'm not Martin St. Louis, but if I'm the coach right now, this is something I will prefer to Patrick Lane to get a left defenseman at the quarterback. Now, yesterday, Patrick Leblanc said to put Noah Dobson at the line position, put Mike Mason at the top, put Demidov at the same spot he is, and Lane as a bumper, so Demidov can go to Lane. But still that would not helping the Montreal Canadiens too much about that. So if you want to get better power play, I think for me it's just an execution. They have a broken stick. The Lane he feel like he's off. He missed a couple of one-timer shot. For those information about the power play, I would say one thing. I don't see Xhekaj as a one-timer shot. He allowed to do that, but I don't see him a powerful one-timer shot at that position. Xhekaj will be better at the screen in front of the net. Montreal does not screen enough in front of the net. But again, we're going to see what it looks like the next couple of days. I still think Lane, Demidov, and Bodzik will play on the same line by the end of the season. Time will tell. Yeah, possible. I think Lane cannot be fixed. No, he's nearing his 30. He turned 27, but I can understand your point of view about that. He's not going to be faster. He's going to be always to be who he is. He work hard. He make an effort. He tried the best. He's not on the right position right now. And I gave an example this morning. I was talking with someone, or last night. Like, put Cole Caulfield right now with Jake Evans and Josh Anderson. It's not going to be the same Cole Caulfield you see with Nick Suzuki and Xhekaj. It's just normal, right? Or put Jake Evans, put him beside Nick Suzuki and Cole Caulfield. Whatsoever how talented is Jake Evans, it will not fit well on the first line. That's what this right now the situation with Patrick Lane. So that it's not that the only score twice and the 10 chance is they look so disorganized, predictable, and doing it again. Like I mentioned, those kind of situations, it's look like that way, predictable, right? But when we have a power play with Ovechkin, the puck go there. Whatsoever you don't want it, they go there. They try to block it. The puck go in the net too. 7 goals, Tampa Bay Lightning, same situation. Leon Draisaitl, we know he's going to get a puck one time. He's going to put the puck in the net too. So what happening there? What is does not happen with Patrick Lane right now? It does not connect. I think it's just off right now. In my opinion, it's just off. And Cole Caulfield, I'll be honest with you, he is not Patrick Lane. With all the respect, we love Cole Caulfield. Cole Caulfield does not have a weapon shot one-timer on the dots to the board. Last year, the NHL Edge stat, he has only 2 goals. I'm talking about the dots to the board, that area. It does not have the same shot like Ovechkin, Laine, Stamkos. But from the dots to the hash mark to the goal, that area, that's where he make his goal in NHL. So this is what they have to figure out this one. Xhekaj scored a 7 goal last year on the bumper position. But Xhekaj last year, I think he had 1 or 2 goals in power play. That's what they need to work. That's what they need to learn. That's what they need to fix. And I'm not the coach. And I'm not an expert coach in hockey. I'm just a guy like you, try to figure out everything, learning with the details of the game. So Mr. Bart is in the house. Ole, ole, ole. Yes, Kev is in the house. Happy Thanksgiving. I have a friend take on Lane. He is on the 4th line to get up to speed. Patty need to reinvent himself. Marty will do it. Sometime, Joseph, whoever you are, great at what you do. You believe you can fix everything. Sometimes does not work. And I wish the best for Patrick Lane, and I hope he can be that player. But at some point, you're limited. And look like the NHL catch up Patrick Lane, or Patrick Lane cannot catch up the NHL, where is the league of speed now. And that could be the biggest problem for him. He will try the best, but because it's so fast, whatever you have the best end, you try to go around the players, it's not like he was before. I'll be shocked if Patrick Lane become another 35 goal A plus in NHL if he cannot get those power play goals. And if he's on unit number 2, it will not happen because you don't pass many minutes on the power play like the unit number 1. And Montreal will try to devise or to split the time. Always Suzuki unit will be there. If he's stuck with Suzuki, could be. But I don't see the lights for Patrick Lane, obviously. I could be wrong, and Joseph, if you're right, I would be very happy to mention I was wrong. And secondly, I would be a benefit as a Montreal Canadiens fans and the team to be better with him. So I hope you're right about that. It's just off right now. It would pop 10 goals in 8 games. Everything would be fine. Tommy, this is a great comment. You mentioned this, Tommy. Why, Coach, you said that? Because those kind of players are unique. They find a way to put the puck in the net, and sometimes, that's Martin Louis said during the playoff against Washington, those kind of players, at any moment, at any time, during the game, they can put the puck in the net. So when you have a player with those kind of skill offensive, you always hesitate to go in or go out because this kind of player can put a puck like anybody else. They are who they are. Accuracy, powerful, strong shot. So you're absolutely right about this, Tommy. Gary, after 3 games, we cannot evaluate. The Habs is a small, simple size. Pas de panic. I don't think you have a panic, Gary, inside the Montreal Canadiens fans. What you try to accomplish or to find out is, okay, what it can be better. Martin Louis said, okay, face off, we need to be better at the biggest important moment on the power play face off. Talk about the power play have to be better structure on the entry zone, establish themselves, the setup on the power play and offensive side, and then execute better. Execute is passing the puck at better location to have the one-timer. If you send a puck at the back, in front of the player for the one-timer, it does not work. So it's just an execution, and at the early in the season, many times, they are not perfectly ready for that. They are a little bit rusty, or they're not perfectly good at that moment. So I agree with you about that. Roger Delaney, welcome in the house. A great point about that. It's so close to the 10,000. Happy Thanksgiving, Roger Delaney. Guys, this is a great man, an amazing, great human being. about that. The other, I think there is something going on in the locker room. Liney been demoted to the power play too before the season start is where he was great on power play number 1 last season. No one is refuting that. Good point. Demotion to 4 line. Anderson is 5-on-5 play and what it is, but it's power play. So go play him at power play number 1. Face-off also knows as the bully. Now, said that, Theodore, on the 5-on-5, they thought Laine Demida would be great. When you put Dak in the equation, that line risks to give a lot of goal against. So they are limited. And because Dak is not great on face-off, now they're chasing the puck most of the time. That's the reason Martin St. Louis split and they use duo by duo, 2 players together, and they add an extra beside that line. That said, the worst line right now on the analytic number, I'm talking about the Corsi, the chance to score, the high danger scaring, the puck position, the shot against versus the shot they put on the net, opportunities, everything, the XGF, all the stat analytic. The worst line is Kapanen. After 3 games, and 2 of the 3 games, there was the worst. So this is something you have to work on it. And it's not complaining right now, not negative. I'll just give you what is the facts. And they have to improve that line to be better. And that's maybe the reason why Demidov right now is still figure out everything. So we have to wait. If we can establish a good bomber players forcing the opposition to lean towards coverage, the middle, it will be open up more room for lining. Also, an occasional good shot from the point will help. So that's what you get, Mark, on different level, on different unit. Xhekaj is the best pumper for the Montreal Canadiens. He played with Caulfield, Suzuki, and Hutson. With Hutson, we don't have a great slap shot. On the second unit, but right now we put Kirby Dach. He's not a one-timer. He's not a great pumper. But you have a great slap shot at the blue line with Noah Dobson. Can Lanny be there? He never been there, but he can put the puck square. Caulfield did it last year. Caulfield is more dangerous at the bumper at where easy right now. So adjustment, I think that will be something they have to figure out for the Montreal Canadiens. And whatsoever we love Xhekaj, it could be removed for the unit number 1. That would not bring Demidov. That said, I think for unit number 2, Kirby Dach does not fit with that unit, and we still have Gallagher there. So it's not complete. It's 3 games. We're just talking about different options. It's nothing negative. We, as a hockey fans, we love the game. We love the Montreal. We're just sharing what we're thinking, and that's okay, and that's good, and that's the way to do that. So anyhow, guys, like I got to go for Mark, I will be the same thing for me. I'll be back for the baseball game afternoon, everybody. You're welcome. Thanksgiving, everyone. Baseball game afternoon, 5 o'clock p.m. Tonight, 8:30 p.m. for the Montreal Canadiens show. And we're going to deliver Montreal play tomorrow night, 7 o'clock p.m. This is what we do here at the Hockey Nation. When I bring all the news around the Montreal Canadiens. So when you're going to leave the building, please don't forget to click on the likes. And we're getting to the 10,000 subscriber very soon. Possible could happen tonight. So I wish you an amazing, great day, everybody. And I can wait to see you at afternoon or tonight. Gab, could you see Albert on the point? No. Kev, obviously, whatsoever. We love Albert Xhekaj. He doesn't have those kind of mobility, Albert. But he have a great shot. But it's something I don't think is a part of his skill. I think Montreal should play more Albert Xhekaj on the PK. It's not good to see Albert play 6 minutes or 8 minutes. They have to find a way to teaching Albert to be on the PK. I know they use Mike Madison. They use right now Kaden Guhle. But we need a Xhekaj in the lineup. No doubt in my mind. on my point. Nicolas, bonne action grâce, mon ami. Merci beaucoup. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Thanks for being with our Canadian Live show. I can't wait to see you tonight or a little bit later during the day. Until then, my friend, that's who you are. You are awesome. You are amazing. You are the best. And remember, you have greatness inside of you. Exactly. That's happening, guys. You have greatness inside of you. Kent Hughes has greatness inside of him, and Lane Hutson has greatness inside of him. What a great deal. An 8-year deal for Lane Hutson. Breaking news from the Hockey Nation. $8.85 million per year for the next 8 years. So we have Lane Hutson for the next 9 years. 7 player now with Montreal with a deal of 6 years and plus. This just get better and better for the Montreal Canadiens. What a great gift of the Thanksgiving for all of you about the Montreal Canadiens and the the contract of Lane Hutson. Be well, BL. Find a way not only to dominate your day, but find a way to dominate the second half of what? Someone was said 2025. The time I'm talking to you, everybody, is go to the bed. Here until then, 10:38 p.m. I'm going to have 4 hours of sleep. Until then, the Hockey Nation, the Habs Nation, and all the animals and my jungle in Thailand want to tell you one more thing. We love you, friends. Good night, everybody. Good day, everybody. Usually I say good night. Good day, everybody. I can't wait to see you at this afternoon for the Blue Jays game. Montreal Canadiens show tonight. Maybe Ernarta is going to join me live. Enjoy your rest of your day. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Bonne action grâce. Merci beaucoup d'être avec nous. Ça me fait plaisir d'être ici à tous les jours avec all the people in the chat. Oh. Booyah. Good night, everybody. Good day, everybody.